Time now for a look at the latest business news. And we're talking about the consequences of record fuel prices here in France. Our business editor, Stephen Carroll, is joining me here on set with a lot more on it. Stephen.
Stuart, the price of diesel hit a record high in France last week, putting more pressure on consumers who are already coping with rising gas and electricity prices. The French government has promised to take action by the end of this week. They're expected to introduce a subsidy payment for lower-income households to try and help reduce the cost of fuel. This latest spike in prices, though, is partly down to the rising price of crude oil, which has been rising steadily in recent weeks. The international benchmark, Brent crude, trading over $84 a barrel today. That's a level last seen almost 3 years ago. Rising prices forcing many to take action. You can see there Brent crude over $84 a barrel, WTI almost at $83 a barrel. Many businesses having to adapt the way that they work because of these increasing fuel costs. Brian Quinn has the details.
For this truck-driving school in southern France, skyrocketing fuel prices have brought an unexpected consequence: heightened security measures.
Oui, alors voyez, j'en avais marre. Les vols à répétition, toutes les semaines, on me siphonnait mes camions. Je me suis équipé de vidéosurveillance et de barbelés sur toute l'enceinte du parc.
As prices at French filling stations continue to rise, so does fuel-related crime. Regular gasoline is now averaging €1.63 per litre, diesel $1.56, an all-time record. Retailers are offering special promotions to draw clients, some even selling fuel at cost. But margins are so slim that customers only save 1 or 2 cents per litre. For transport professionals, the timing of the price surge couldn't be worse. This tour bus operator is reviewing contracts to see where he can raise his prices. His business, already hit by the pandemic, is now close to going under.
Il nous tombe dessus, cette hausse de carburant, qui est très difficilement répercutable, étant donné qu'on a reporté des voyages déjà depuis 2 ans auprès de la clientèle. Donc si maintenant, en plus, on leur demande une augmentation, on risque de les perdre.
Many in the transport industry are calling on the government to lower the taxes that make up some 2/3 of the price at the pump. So far, Paris says no. The government is instead working on a fuel voucher program for low-income households.
Stock markets next for you. European shares starting the day up, although not by very much, it has to be said. London, Paris and Frankfurt just seeing small gains at the open. Mining companies among those seeing gains as shares get underway in trading. London's FTSE 100 there up by just 0.1%. Shares in Asia generally trading higher today as well. Investors feeling optimistic about a raft of corporate results we're expecting on later today. Netflix among those that are going to be reporting their latest financial figures. You can see the Hang Seng in Hong Kong there up by 1%. Moving on, Apple is moving further away from its traditional microchip supplier, Intel, this amid global shortages that have hit factories around the world. Its latest laptops are all using Apple's own semiconductors. The new M1 Pro chip is faster and uses less energy than the first version that had been released last year. This also means the company can start selling its new MacBooks straight away, capturing that important pre-Christmas market. The drugs companies Pfizer and Moderna are set to dominate the market for COVID-19 vaccines next year. Figures from the health data analytics group Airfinity, published by the Financial Times, estimate the total market will be worth some $124 billion in 2022. Now, according to their numbers, Pfizer-BioNTech will be the biggest player with projected sales of almost $55 billion. Moderna comes in second with sales of almost $39 billion. And then the rest of the big players, AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, they'll make up the rest of that $124 billion total. Now, Airfinity's forecast is much higher than what many other analysts are predicting. The company, though, says that demand in 2022 will be driven by low and middle income countries. Amazon is aiming to hire 150,000 workers in the United States in the run-up to Christmas. That's 50% more than last year, and it comes amid a shortage of retail workers in the US. The e-commerce giant will be competing with retailers like Walmart and Target for staff. They've already announced plans to each hire more than 100,000 new workers. And finally, for me, Marvel fans will have to wait even longer to see the latest instalments of their favourite films. Disney has pushed back the release of movies, including the new Black Panther, the new Thor, the new Doctor Strange. They won't now be out until 2022, or in some cases, even 2023. The fifth Indiana Jones film also been delayed until June 2023. Now, Disney hasn't officially said why it's stalling these releases, but Variety is reporting that the latest changes are due to production delays, of course linked to COVID-19. But Stuart, it does mean that Harrison Ford will be 81 when the next Indiana Jones film comes out.
Well, Daniel Craig was almost 81 by the time the latest James Bond film came out.
Not just in
well.
Bond years, though.
In Bond years, yeah. Stephen with Business on France 24.